The Battle of Qarqar, fought in 853 BCE, is one of the early known instances of large-scale warfare in ancient history. It pitted the formidable Assyrian army, led by King Shalmaneser III, against a coalition of various Levantine states, including the Arameans and Israelites. This battle is significant as it highlights the geopolitical dynamics of the ancient Near East, illustrating how smaller states banded together to resist the imperial ambitions of Assyria, which was a common practice during this period as regional powers sought to maintain their sovereignty against larger, expansionist empires. Understanding the significance of the Battle of Qarqar requires examining its historical context. This confrontation was not just a military engagement, but a critical reflection of the period's political landscape. It showcased the intricate network of alliances and rivalries that defined the Levant region. The coalition, despite being a temporary alliance, demonstrated the potential for smaller states to collectively challenge a dominant Pichi. This event foreshadowed the frequent appearance of similar coalitions throughout history, as disparate entities joined forces out of necessity against a common threat. One real-world application of the principles demonstrated at Qarqar can be seen in how modern nations form military alliances, like NATO, to counter perceived threats from more powerful adversaries. Another example is the geopolitical strategy seen during the Cold War, where countries, both small and large, coalesced into blocs to balance power dynamics globally. Supporters of the study of this historical event argue that it underscores the timeless nature of diplomacy and alliance building in geopolitics. The ancient coalition's stand at Qarqar remains a testament to strategic collaborations in the face of overwhelming odds, reflecting a recurring theme in history. However, there are challenges associated with interpreting events like the Battle of Qarqar. The primary source, the Kurkh Monolith, offers only the Assyrian perspective, potentially skewing our understanding. This lack of comprehensive records leads to debates about the battle's scale and even its conclusive outcome. The Battle of Qarqar connects to broader aspects of ancient warfare and statecraft, influencing how we perceive the interplay between military might and diplomatic strategy. It serves as a precursor to later historical trends where coalitions formed to resist hegemony. The study of Qarqar enriches our understanding of the ancient world and provides enduring insights into the complexities of international relations, demonstrating how past precedents shape contemporary geopolitical strategies. The political landscape of the Near East in the 9th century BCE was a complex tapestry of competing city-states, emerging empires, and shifting alliances. At its core, this period was marked by the struggle for territorial control and political dominance among various powers, including the Assyrian Empire, Arameans, Israelites, and other neighboring entities. This multifaceted environment set the stage for the Battle of Qarqar in 853 BCE, where an alliance of Arameans, Israelites, and others clashed with the mighty Assyrian forces led by King Shalmaneser III. Understanding this geopolitical context is crucial for grasping the significance of this battle, which represented a rare instance of regional cooperation against a common threat. The significance of the 9th century BC Near Eastern political landscape lies in its influence on the alliances and enmities that culminated in such confrontations as the Battle of Qarqar. The rise of Assyria as a dominant military power led to widespread fear and resistance among smaller states. For instance, King Ahab of Israel and King Hadadezer of Damascus, typically rivals, found common cause in resisting Assyrian expansion, illustrating how existential threats can drive cooperation among otherwise disparate entities. The coalition of forces at Qarqar highlighted the precarious balance of power and the lengths to which regional leaders would go to preserve their autonomy. One real-world example of this intricate political dance is the alliance between the Northern Kingdom of Israel and the Aramean city-states, who set aside their differences to face the Assyrian menace. Another example is the role of smaller states like Hamath, which joined the coalition in hopes of curbing Assyrian advances and maintaining their sovereignty. These alliances underscore the era's dynamic diplomacy and strategic partnerships born from necessity. Scholars argue that the coalition's formation marked a significant moment in Near Eastern history, demonstrating a collective resistance that halted Assyrian progress temporarily. However, some historians debate the coalition's ultimate effectiveness, given that Assyria continued its campaigns afterward. Challenges in this discourse include scarcity of detailed records and the differing accounts of Assyrian and coalition victories, which complicate definitive conclusions. This intricate political landscape not only influenced the events at Qarqar, but also foreshadowed future interactions among Near Eastern states. The alliances and conflicts of the 9th century BCE laid the groundwork for subsequent diplomatic and military strategies, influencing how these states engaged with each other and with larger empires, setting patterns that would resonate throughout history. The formation of the anti-Assyrian coalition was a pivotal moment in ancient Near Eastern history, characterized by its assembly of diverse groups united by a common cause to resist Assyrian expansion. This coalition, formed around 853 BCE, comprised Arameans, Israelites, and other Levantine states, drawn together by their shared interest in curbing Assyrian aggression and preserving their autonomy. This alliance was significant because it demonstrated that even disparate and often competing entities could come together in the face of a greater existential threat. The coalition included notable figures like Hadadezer of Aram Damascus, King Ahab of Israel, and King Irhuleni of Hamath. The significance of this collaboration lies in its depiction of early examples of diplomatic alliances in the region, illustrating how political necessity can forge unity among inherently diverse groups. This coalition directly challenged Assyria's imperialistic advances and represented a formidable defense that significantly impacted the Assyrian king Shalmaneser III's campaign at the Battle of Qarqar. A specific example illustrating this is King Ahab of Israel, whose participation underscores the practical politics of ancient kingship, where existential threats necessitated alliances beyond ideological or religious differences. Another example is Aram Damascus, led by Hadadezer, whose influence and military might were central to the coalition, highlighting the pragmatic leadership needed to oppose overwhelming external forces. Support for this idea can be seen in historical analyses that highlight the pragmatic collaboration between these groups. This coalition allowed smaller states to stave off Assyrian domination temporarily, showcasing the potency of alliances in resisting greater powers. Nevertheless, the concept of such a coalition is not without its challenges, particularly in its stability and efficacy over time. The coalition consisted of members with disparate interests and goals, which could lead to internal conflicts and a lack of cohesive strategy in the long term. Additionally, the dominance of major players within the coalition could overshadow smaller members' concerns, leading to friction. This point connects to the broader narrative of resistance against imperial powers, a recurring theme throughout history. It influences our understanding of how alliances are formed and maintained in the face of aggressive, expansionist policies. The formation and actions of the anti-Assyrian coalition offer insights into early strategic diplomacy and warfare, serving as a testament to the enduring power of unity against common adversities. The Battle of Qarqar, fought in 853 BCE, was a pivotal clash between the expansive Assyrian Empire under King Shalmaneser III and a coalition of Aramean states and other Levantine entities, including Israelites. This confrontation is a compelling example of ancient military strategy and the dynamics of ancient Near Eastern warfare. At its core, the The concept of military forces and strategies employed at Qarqar involves understanding the composition, tactics, and logistical elements that each side brought to the battlefield, reflecting their cultural and political contexts. The significance of analyzing military forces and strategies lies in how it shapes our understanding of the battle's outcome and the larger geopolitical landscape of the period. The Assyrians, known for their powerful and well-organized military, utilized a combination of heavy infantry, chariots, and cavalry, which were designed to overwhelm opponents through sheer force and psychological warfare. In contrast, the coalition forces, composed of diverse groups with varying military traditions, likely leveraged their local knowledge, defensive positions, and combined tactical diversity in an attempt to counterbalance the might of the Assyrian war machine. A key example illustrating these points is the use of chariots, which were a significant component of the Assyrian army's strategy, symbolizing power and technological sophistication. Meanwhile, the coalition strategy might have included guerrilla tactics, given the varied terrain and defensive advantages. Another example is the diplomatic strategy of forming a coalition itself. Uniting disparate states against a common foe highlights the political savvy required to face a formidable adversary like Assyria. While some historians laud the coalition's ability to temporarily halt Assyrian expansion, others argue about the actual impact of Qarqar. The primary historical source, the Kurkh Monolith, was created by the Assyrians, possibly inflating their victories and minimizing the coalition's effectiveness. Additionally, the diversity within the coalition could have posed challenges in command, unity, and execution of strategy, which might have affected their performance during the battle. Understanding these military forces and strategies offers insight into the broader political and military dynamics of the region. The battle's outcome influenced Assyrian expansionist policies and the coalition's future attempts at resistance. It highlights how strategic military decisions were not just about battlefield engagements, but also intertwined with diplomacy, alliance building, and political maneuvering. The analysis of Qarqar's military strategies provides invaluable lessons on how ancient powers balanced strength, strategy, and cooperation in pursuit of their objectives, shaping the course of history in the ancient Near East.